Hi, my name is Molly, and today I'm going to be doing the book Courtship Tag. Now, I was not tagged to do this tag, but it has been going around the booktube community, and I really wanted to do it. Basically, it's just a bunch of questions that you can place books under, and they all have to do with courtships and dating and love and everything. So, without further ado, let's get started. Initial attraction, a book that you bought because of the cover. Now, I think this is a pretty obvious choice, and I'm sure a lot of people have done it, but I picked These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner because, let's face it, this cover is beautiful. I mean, I love the colors and the contrast, and I love how the characters' faces are far away, so you can still kind of imagine it, but if you do think about it, they got the characters very close than what they described in the book. Now, I did buy this book because of the cover. It wasn't at the top of my list when I went to the bookstore, but I was there and I turned around and here it was in all its beautiful glory, and I was like, yes, I'm going to buy you because you are beautiful and you're going to look great on my shelf. And then I finished it, and it was actually a fairly good book. Phase 2, First Impressions, a book that you got because of the summary. Now, for this, I picked The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. I really liked this book. I walked over to it because of the cover, and then I read the summary, and it was just so intriguing because it gave you enough information that you wanted to pick up the book, but it also didn't give you enough information, which made you want to pick up the book even more because you were like, oh my god, I need to know what happens. Who are these people? It confused me in the beginning because one of the sentences is, now it's the dawn of the fifth wave, and on a lonely stretch of highway, Cassie runs from them, the beings who only look human, who roam the countryside killing anyone they see, who have scattered Earth's last survivors. And then they talk about Evan Walker, and I was like, oh my god, it's a guy, and it's going to be an adorable love story, and it was. I really like this series. I got to meet Rick Yancey, and he was so funny and so nice, and see, my book is signed by him. See, in silver, and I really enjoyed reading this book overall. Phase 3, Sweet Talk, a book with great writing. For this, I went with The Fault in Our Stars. I almost said These Broken Stars. The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, because let's face it, this writing is beautiful. It is so sweet and funny, but it also makes you think. It also can be depressing. And I loved all of John Green's books. I love his writing style, but I believe this was the best of his writing. This plotline wasn't my favorite. I mean, I love this plotline, don't get me wrong. It's just, I think Paper Towns was probably my favorite, but The Fault in Our Stars is a close second/third because I really loved Looking for Alaska. And the movie was great too. It's a cancer love story. But it's not depressing. I mean, it can be depressing at times, let's face it. Anyone who's read this book or seen this movie has cried, myself included. When I went to the movies with my friends, I was bawling really loud and everyone was yelling at me to be quiet. Yeah, but this book is definitely good. I'm making it sound really depressing, and it's not. It's definitely a good read, and it's written very well. Phase 4, First Date, first book of a series which made you want to pick up the rest of the series. For this, I went with Cassandra Clare's City of Bones, which is the first book in the Mortal Instruments series, because this book just made me want to pick up the rest of the series so bad because nothing was resolved in the end. Everything just went to hell. It was so great, though. The storyline, the characters, the romance, the action, everything about this series just screams love me. And like I said, nothing was resolved at the end of the book, which made you want to read the next book and the next book because some new thing was started that wasn't resolved that you had to keep. Now I'm looking forward to reading The Dark Artifices, which comes out next year. I don't know if I can wait another year for her sequel series, but Shadowhunters, yes, I will wait for you because I love you so much. Phase 5, Late Night Phone Calls, a book that kept you up all night. Now, this book didn't keep me up all night, but I did stay up pretty late reading it because I wanted to know what was going on and what was happening, and that was Eclipse by Stephanie Meyer. Now, I have the hardcover box set of Twilight books, and I still have to read Breaking Dawn, but I really have enjoyed the series so far, and it does keep you entertained, and there are twists at every turn, and there's vampires and werewolves and hot guys and romance and action, and I just love books like that, so this was definitely a good series for me to pick up, and I'm glad that I did, because I was planning on not, but then someone gave me the hardcover box set, so I'm like, okay, I might as well read it, and then I read it, and it was great. Phase 6, always on my mind, a book you could not stop thinking about. For this, I went with Alice in Zombieland by Gina Showalter, because I swear, I could not stop thinking about this book. I don't know what it was. It was just so mysterious and so intriguing, and I was at softball practice, and I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? I don't know what's gonna happen. It's all marked up because I brought it everywhere with me that day. I finished it in a day, but I brought it everywhere with me, and I got hit with a ball, and people ran into me, and it got thrown across the room, but it survived, and it was a great story, and I don't like zombies, and I didn't think I would like it, but it sounded pretty interesting, and I love fairy tale retellings. So I did pick up this book, and it was definitely worth picking up. For whatever reason, I could not stop thinking about this book, but I always think about all my books, so it's not really a plot twist. Phase 7, a Getting Physical, a book which you love the way it feels. For this, can't pick it up. For this, I went with Divergent by Veronica Roth. Now, this is the paperback edition. I love how this is raised. Makes it easy when you play the game where you have to identify the books by the feel of them. It has a very smooth cover, and then, ooh, floppiness. I love books that do this. I just love them. I love books that do this. Because, you know what, you can leave, you can just set it down right here. Just set it down. And then you can come back days, years later, and it's still on the same page unless there's wind. But we're not counting wind. And it's still on the same page that you left it on. You don't have to like turn it over and damage the spine. You just leave it face up, and it's wonderful. And I love floppy books. Phase 8, Meeting the Parents, a book which you recommend to your friends and family. For this is my only double. I went with The Fault in Our Stars again by John Green. Now, I did already talk about this book, so this is going to be short, but I just really think everyone can relate to it. I read it when I was like 11 or 12, and I loved it, and my mom read it, and she loved it, and everyone seems to love the movie, and anyone that's read the book or watched the movie tells you how great it is. Girls would definitely love it. I don't know much about how guys would feel about it because none of my guy friends read at all, so they haven't read The Fault in Our Stars, but I do think they could take tips from Augustus Waters because he is amazing, and I want an Augustus Waters for myself. So guys, you better get on that for your girlfriends. Phase 9, a book or series which you will reread in the future. This is the thinking about the future section. Now for this, I don't have a set series because I just suddenly get the urge to reread a certain book or a certain series, and it just hits me out of the blue, and I don't know where it comes from. But I am going to show you the series that I've reread the most, and that has two. It was either the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare or the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. I just really love the characters and the storylines and everything about these books. And 10, share the love. Who do you tag? Guess what? I tag all of you. Everyone who wants to do this tag, because I believe anyone that wants to do this tag should do this tag. So power to the people, man. You all get to do the tag. So that was the book Courtship Tag. I hope you all enjoyed listening to me talk about books and book courtship. And I hope you have fun if you do the tag. So thanks guys. Bye.